Hey everyone. Hey everyone. This is your host, Joshua Dixon. Welcome to this episode of the Healing Hearts podcast. It's just an honor to be here with you each and every day. This is a show about healing, recovery, self love, self care, self improvement, and the road to better days ahead. As these conversations, though that they sometimes can be hard, they help make us better. By having these conversations, we're able to bring more awareness. We're able to really feel more comfortable, feel belonged, understand that we're not alone, understand that there's hope available, understand that we can choose love over fear to make it to another day and to inspire and motivate others to also meet us there tomorrow because we're in it together. It's a team effort. First off, thank you so much for being here. Sorry it's been a while since I made an episode. My life has been interesting and crazy. I'm in online classes for becoming a motivational speaker. My TikTok had got 2 community guideline strikes, and that caused me to lose a lot of my income. So I've been working a lot of delivering Amazon packages. Now I work at the Amazon warehouse, and I can still deliver Amazon packages after that. So I'm just making sure that I can take care of myself, take care of Chloe. My mom burned her face a little over a week ago. And that's been a hard adjustment as well because not only taking care of her, but also dealing with the emotions, the grief that she's going through, the healing, and also just watching her go through that journey as a son, watching a mother go through so much pain. And in most situations, when we experience trauma or we watch a loved one experience trauma, we don't necessarily know what they're feeling. We just know that we are a part of their experience because we're with them every step of the way. But as someone who has been through debriefment, where they remove all of the damaged skin and kind of get it all to the healthiest skin, and some of the other factors like the ointments, the kind of wound care, it's very similar, if not in some cases the same as the 62 surgeries that I've had. And so it's just like, damn, like I really wouldn't wish a lot of that pain onto another individual, let alone my mom. And now to see her go through a fraction of what I've been through is just heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking for me. It's like an indescribable feeling of heartbreak because it's like I know, and those feelings and nerve damage and pain isn't something that not everybody can endure, but you can learn, you can adapt through it. There was a lovely thing that a gentleman said to me yesterday, one of my future supervisors. He said to me, his name's Doug, and he's a veteran. He didn't specify what branch, what military branch that he's from. He specified that he's a veteran that suffers from PTSD. And though he doesn't take back what he did to defend our country and to fight for our lives, he says that there's just some things that occur that he'll never forget. That forever triggers him, that can take him out of his comfort zone, that can bring fears and nightmares. And for years, he experienced that he couldn't sleep, that he couldn't really be around people, that like the way people act back in the civilian life here in America was way different than the traumatic experiences that he endured when he was overseas. And he said when he got back, when he made that choice to continue living life, he knew that he had to accept the past. He had to accept what he's been through. He couldn't just keep dwelling on the past because it was making him ultimately depressed and suicidal. He had to accept it and learn to live with it rather than avoiding it because that was going to destroy him, was to avoid what's ultimately in his DNA now. It's PTSD is known to physically change the way the brain thinks, the way the brain is structured due to that traumatic experience or witnessing a traumatic experience. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a permanent physical and also psychological issue that will take sometimes days to years to maybe even a lifetime of dealing with the symptoms that are attributed to that particular case of post-traumatic stress disorder, or in my case, in his case, CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And that's when you don't qualify for all four of their traditional PTSD, but you have some of the others. Like for instance, I don't have as many nightmares as I used to, but I have a lot of flashbacks. I have a lot of cold sweats. I have a lot of moments where my body is in the present moment, but my mind is watching my life getting my face ripped off over and over again. Um, and what he said really stood out to me because as I've gotten older and as I've matured and I've been going through this for 16 years, I don't always like the saying that God gives his hardest battles to the strongest warriors. I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for it, but I have a great responsibility to what has happened to me. I have a great accountability to what has happened to me, and having a great responsibility has allowed me to have a mindset that has taught me to look inward for the strength, look inward and outward for the vision, and to act on it, because these are things that I will endure for the rest of my life and that I may suffer from for a very long time. But as I get older and as I learn to live with it, it won't be such a problem to me anymore. It's like what I've talked about it before. Anger, sadness, depression, anxiety, a feeling of anxiousness, feeling of nervousness, even joy, even happiness, even all of the complexity of emotions. They're all healthy. They're a part of being human. And a lot of us have endured traumas that we will never tell anyone about. And first off, thank you everyone for fighting the battles that you tell no one about. Thank you everyone who has continued to go through that. And each and every day when you're going through the midst of it and you're like, man, life is really, really hard. And I don't know how I'm gonna get through it. Look back. Look back. Because when you look back, you understand that you've gotten through a lot of things. You've gotten through the worst of worst. And you're still here. That's a testament. That's an example by itself. And the point of this is it's believing in yourself, believing in who you are and what you're capable of. And sometimes it takes having that uncomfortable conversation of accepting what has happened, understanding that you cannot change the past, and appreciating that, okay, we're alive. We can get through, we gotten through it. And there's ways that we can recover from this and come out stronger. When tornadoes wreck communities, what happens? The community mourns, they huddle together, they figure out what happened. They count the losses and casualties. They allocate resources. They ask for help. They hold hands. They memorialize what has happened. And they rebuild stronger than they were before. Sometimes we don't know what we need to be prepared for until it's happened. And then we know, okay, that is something that I can look at and use it as an example to build something for something else. I don't know what for. It could be for me. It could be building fortitude for my kids. It could be building fortitude for my friends. It could be building fortitude for a significant other that may go through this later down in life. But now I have this asset to me that I'm sometimes afraid of, but I'm uncomfortable by. But because I'm a survivor of it, that lets me know that I can be a leader of that love, of that hope, of that change because it's inside of me. I'm not here to always focus on, what's bad. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to sit here 16 years later as a survivor of suicide, a survivor of domestic violence, as a survivor of self-harm, as a survivor of child abuse, as a survivor of being mauled and having my face ripped off by two pit bulls, being a survivor of cyberbullying, of bullying, of physical assaults, of racism and hate crimes. Being a survivor of all of that, and I can sit here as a 24-year-old and say that I am choose whether at each and every morning I wake up and I believe that I should be here, I still sit there each and every day with my depression, with my PTSD, with my nightmares, and with my thoughts, my intrusive thoughts. I sit there each and every day and say, I'm going to give it my all today. And I thank God for waking me up today and for allowing me to utilize today to be different and to be better than I was yesterday. I choose life over the fear. I choose life over the pain. Pain sometimes does last a long time, but learning how to take care of it, learning how to give it a cup of coffee and say, hey, I have a cup of coffee this morning. You want a cup of coffee? Let's have a chat about this. Let's have a healthy conversation rather than locking him in the closet or her in the closet or they in the closet because they are in there working out. They in there doing some push-ups. And I don't want to be fighting those demons. They're not demons. They're wounded inner childs. They're wounded inner us. They're a scared version of the human spirit that is you. And though I didn't sign up to be one of God's strongest warriors, but because of my inherited accountability, responsibility to the things that have happened to me, and for me wanting to choose to keep trying, even when I didn't want to, I knew that I had to keep trying and that it was going to work somehow, some way. I believed in the faction of just trying and seeing where it goes because time is only present in the past and in the present. There is no time in the future. I don't know where tomorrow brings me, but I know that what I did yesterday and what I did in the past can lead me up for today. I am who I am because of what has happened to me, whether I like it or not. And I've made the best of it because I chose to make the best of it. No one can force you to change. Only you can change for the betterment of all. When someone forces you to change for the betterment because they want you to change, that betterment will only be temporary. It will not be healthy. It will be toxic. It may have resentment. It may backlash and it may make things worse. That individual who needs to undergo the change needs to believe in themselves that they can do that they can work for it each and every day. A small goal can go a long way. Even if it's, I got up today. Start small. It will build. Momentum will build on hope. Momentum will build on motivation. Momentum will build on believing in your own capabilities and believing in yourself so that you can look in the mirror and say that I am a warrior of this life that I am. This life that I'm standing in right now. This embodiment, this spirit that I'm in right now. I am a champion of that and I have scars and I'm proud of them and I own them. I've worked hard for it. You can be there. You will be there and everyone who's listening to this is eligible to have that moment, regardless of how young or how seasoned you are, whether you've had a quote unquote regular, simple life, whatever that means, or a very complex life where it's so foreign to the normal naked eye. You are a warrior of your life, and we are here to help you see the ability that you have in yourself to be better, to be great, and to continue pushing forth each and every day for the betterment of yourself and for the betterment of all. Believing in yourself can start with, I got up today. Yesterday I didn't. I got up today. I sat on the side of the bed today for 5 minutes. I put some new socks on today. I took a shower today. I took out the garbage today. I might have did the dishes today. I might have did my laundry today. I might have just sat outside. I might have, instead of listening to sad music, I might have listened to something that reminds me of someone I love, someone I miss, someone I'm mourning. Maybe I cried today. Maybe I ate some food today. Maybe I ate something healthy today. Maybe I just looked at myself in the mirror and just smiled without no words exchanged. All of those are achievements. They sound small, they sound petty, they sound like something that everyone should do, but not everyone is doing it. Some people are really struggling and really going through it. And some of us have been there. If you find yourself not knowing how to carry on, start small. Crawl before you walk. And as someone who's had to learn how to talk, walk, write, and eat again twice in my life, once as an infant and the second as an 8-year-old child, it's hard. It's hard to crawl. It's hard to be at the mountaintop at one period in your life and be at the point where it's all over, where it feels like it's over and you just want them to pull the plug. Your heart's still breathing. Your heart's still beating and your lungs are still breathing. So that's something there. And that's hope. Smallest thing to be grateful for. You could change it. You could change it. You could change anything around you. You could change you. For the betterment of yourself. I want you to be happy for you. I want you to admire how strong and how resilient and how courageous that you are. And even for people who are listening to this for years from now or in the recent future, you should be proud of yourself because you're listening to someone who may look entirely different than you. You'd be surprised how many thousands of people I come across on a yearly basis who disrespect me, who laugh at me, who point at me, who avoid me, who slam doors in my face, who have said words to me, who have wished death upon me. And you're sitting here treating me like a normal human being. And you're sitting here listening to a lesson that I'm giving on how to believe in yourself. That's worth giving yourself a pat on the back because you're already in a small percentage of this society that provides hope and love and that will continue to spread so that we can continue to provide hope and love. Because each of these hard conversations, they help inspire life. They help give life. They help others get up out the bed and to choose to keep fighting. But they need to hear these stories. They need to hear these testimonies. They need to see these examples because we can lead by setting example. I am leading by example. I am being what 16-year-old Josh wanted to see when he was growing up. He didn't have no one to look up to besides God. But because I didn't see a physical representation of what I wanted, I knew that it can exist because I can create it because the stars are the limit. If I didn't have it, I could have created it as long as I worked for it. Now I sit here, I'm 24, 16. I'm bad. I'm so bad at math. So, like 8 years later, yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm bad at math. Don't judge me today. Sitting here years later, and now I am who 16-year-old Josh wanted. But who I am today, I am for thousands and if not millions of others around the world. I'm leading by example of hope, change, courageous energy, resilience, empowering the power of the testimony. Our lives are a testimony. We're writing a page in a book each and every day. And I'm using my own vulnerability to empower my testimony and sharing it with others because I see the hope in what I've been through. Trust me, I'm going through a really hard time right now. I'm in debt every day. I can't always pay my bills on time. I'm working like 3 jobs right now, but I just started working like the stable job yesterday. The economy's flopping. The political things in this country. There's a lot of things that I find myself focusing on and being sad about. Even being sad about not being in love, not having someone to love, not having kids yet because I feel like I've worked so hard to be alive. And I've created so many acolytes that I feel like it's my time to have a family now and to at least, start towards that. But I can't focus on things that's outside of my control. I can only focus on what I got. And I have 5 cards in my hand. I don't know how to play them well, but apparently I've been playing them pretty well for a long time. But the remaining the remaining 32 cards that's left in that deck that's sitting on the table, I can't hold my responsibility and accountability for those cards because they're not in my hand. Those cards may hurt me, they may harm me, they may cause damage, irreparable damage to my life. It may cost me to close to losing the game of life. But as that deck is playing itself, I will use my 5 cards wisely each and every day to keep myself in the game just a little bit longer. And that's all that matters. It's one more day, one more second, one more minute, one more hour, one more day. Next thing you know, we're at a week, we're at a month, we're at a year. And just to end it with an achievement, I'm a survivor of 2 suicide attempts. And today makes 1,200, today makes 1,232 days of my sobriety from self-harm. One day at a time. That's all we need. It's one day at a time. Don't focus on always fulfilling somebody else's glass. Focus on yours first. Build it up. Let that water trickle on in there. And when you overflow, then you pass it on to the next. Now we're creating a garden of hope, like we've been doing already. I love you. I gotta get ready to go to work. I gotta drive 48 miles to work. And then when I get back, I gotta make some clothing. I got nothing to complain about. Yeah, some things aren't in my favor. A lot of things aren't. Life is hard the majority of the time. But what makes me smile is knowing that I got up, that there's people that rely on me, that love me for me. They love me through the ups and the downs. They're not just there when I'm at my top, and they're not just there when I'm at my lowest. They're honest with me. They're transparent with me. They have a ticket to in the audience for my lowest of lows, and they have a ticket in the audience for when I'm at my highest of highs. And there's not one ticket unaccounted for. Everyone's there, and that keeps me going. And I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for the years and the days and of choosing to just give life one more try. I've given life many, many tries. And I'm going to keep doing that each day, giving life one more try. One more try. And seeing what I learned from that, using that, applying that, or maybe throwing it away and give it another try. And whatever sticks, build on what sticks, and then help other stuff stick. That's building belief in yourself. And if you don't take anything away from this episode, the one thing I want you to know is that when you look back, you have a legacy of triumphs of good, bad, and ugly, regardless of how small or how big. And that's worth believing in yourself to overcome anything ahead of you. You are a hiker of life, even if you might not like hiking or going on marathons, but you've been doing a marathon for a very long time. And you're making a good pace at it, a good effort at it. Keep going. Remember, the tortoise always beats the hare. I love you, beautiful admirers. Hope you love this episode. I hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you keep up the good work. And thank you for empowering me and allowing me to keep coming here each and every day, empowering you. I hope this empowered you today. Hope this helped you heal some. And I guess a journal prompt that we can do is, what is something that you've gone through that you didn't believe that you were going to make it through? Write it down. What is something that you've gone through that you didn't believe that you would make it through? And how did you get through it? Hold on to that. Rip it out. Rip that page out. Stick it on the wall. Read that page every day. You got this. I believe in you. I need you to believe in you. This episode is about believing in yourself. We need that during times like this. We need to believe in ourselves because we are stronger than what our mental health says about us. I love you. Bye until next time.